Thank you very much. My colleagues, yesterday I was here. It was very, very nice. And we had the honor to hear important things from the mayor of Jerusalem, and those of you had a special experience when we heard the head of the Jewish agency, Mr. Sharansky, who spoke mainly as Natan Sharansky. So again, we're here. We're the same audience. The organizer informed me that first I do not have to attach to the formula that has the heading of the session, and I said to them that I will have to leave immediately after my lecture in order to continue my agenda. I'm not one of the busiest ministers, but as you know, but sometimes some days are busier than others. A few months ago, to join him in part of his meetings with the special representative, Senator George Mitchell, and I thought it would be worthwhile to explain him and the members of the delegation what does an ideologist do in the Israeli government, what's his role, the function of an ideologist in general, geologist. English is better for that. We can translate it to Hebrew. And I said, it is my role for many years, in fact, מתפקידי כגיאולוג, להחזיק את עמיתיי מקורקעים. It's not an easy role. Sometimes it wasn't paid for, but this is what the reality is forcing on every one of us, on geologists, on authors, on physicians, and experts in state sciences, political sciences. In this spirit, I would like to say a few things about what my colleague, Professor Beni said in one of the sessions. The following, approximately, he said, also his experience as a professor to mathematics. People are sitting in a hall or in a room and agree after 1 hour of discussion that a certain problem they face, there's no solution. And then they start proposing solutions. I think this is a correct observation, and it serves well. This experience serves some kind of a internal need which can be understood, but these discussions to find solutions do not bring solution now, and I'd like to say things the way I see them. I met a European diplomat yesterday, and I gave him political example. Each one of us, whoever was a member of a party, was serving a party, was in the leadership of a party, knows that from time to time, in an annual conference or biannual or quarterly annual, they deal with the memorandum of the party, and in some cases there are extremists that are proposing extreme proposals for the memorandum of this party. It can be a small group, and maybe not even a very important group, but the question is what happens then. There are two options that are facing the leadership. One, to try and reach some kind of a compromise that everybody can live with, or to try and take the whole thing off the agenda by some struggle, but it's not so comfortable because we want to have peace of mind. And if we do not manage with this group, then the small group of the leadership meets, and the chairman is telling them, members, my friends, with this we cannot live. And he's telling them. But maybe they said, maybe you should understand, he's telling them because he is responsible. If he is responsible, he's saying, so I'm telling you, with this, I cannot live with this. You'll have to decide either this or me as a leader. In most cases, it helps. What do I mean by that? Some 4 or 5 months ago, the leadership of the Fatah agreed in its 6th conference some decisions about its way for the next years. Before this leadership, there were some options regarding its traditional memorandum. One was to change it, to adjust it to reality, and to wipe out parts that are considered unconceivable by most part of the public. The other option was not to touch the traditional memorandum and to ignore it and to phrase something else. We can always say, we didn't touch, it's old, it's obsolete, it's like we used to say. The Fatah leadership did not choose any of these options. It adopted the third option. It decided to go back and confirm the same part in its traditional memorandum in clause number 19, even a little bit in an indirect way, that says as follows: the armed struggle is a strategy and not tactics. The armed fight of the Palestinian people is crucial to the fight for the elimination of the Zionist entity, and it will not be stopped, will be destroyed in Palestine. There was no reservation, not before the conference, not during the conference. They were extending the sessions and not after the conference. No attempt of Mr. Abbas to reserve and to withdraw and to say, what can I do? These are extremists. No, they took us as hostages. It happened to the Democratic Party a few years ago in San Francisco. Whoever remembers, nothing. Nada, nothing. These things have certain significance.